Excuse me, Maya? The voice came from behind her, sharp and cold. She turned around, holding a tray of product samples, her smile still fixed in place. It was Erica, the brand director, perfectly pressed white suit, manicured nails, eyes that scanned Maya from head to toe as if she were an item misplaced in a luxury boutique. Maya, Erica said again, lowering her voice but not her tone. We need to talk. In my office, now. The chatter of the marketing floor softened as Maya followed her boss. Eyes trailed her, some sympathetic, most curious. The door closed behind them with a quiet, decisive click. Erica folded her arms. Listen, she began, walking around the desk. We appreciate your hard work these past 2 years. You've been diligent, Maya blinked. The word diligent stung more than it should have. Thank you, ma'am. Erica raised a hand, cutting her off. But, she continued, we've been reviewing our upcoming campaign and… Her eyes flicked over Maya's natural curls, her dark skin, and the soft brown blouse she'd chosen that morning. The board feels you just don't fit the image we're trying to project for our luxury brand. The words hit like a slap. Maya stood frozen for a moment, unsure if she'd heard correctly. Don't fit the image? She repeated quietly. You mean the company that preaches diversity and empowerment? Erica smiled thinly. You're taking this too personally. It's business, Maya. Our clientele expects a certain presentation. We need someone who reflects that. Her chest tightened. Someone who looks like you? Erica's lips pressed together. Silence said enough. Maya's mind flashed through late nights at her desk, skipped lunches, endless presentations she'd carried for the team. She thought of the mentorship program she built for interns, the campaign she'd saved from collapse last quarter. None of it mattered, not next to her image. So that's it? Maya whispered. After everything I've done? Erica sighed, feigning sympathy. We'll offer you a severance package and a letter of recommendation. You're talented, Maya, but this is the direction we're moving in. The direction. The word spun in Maya's head. She could barely breathe. Outside the glass door, her co-workers pretended not to notice her holding a box of her things an hour later. But she saw the glances, the pity, the whispers. Such a shame. She was good, but, the brand's changing. Did you hear what Erica said? As Maya stepped into the elevator, the reflection staring back at her looked hollow. A woman who'd been stripped not just of her job, but of her worth. The elevator doors closed, sealing away the noise. She let out a shaky breath and whispered to herself, they can keep their image. I'll build my own. The metal doors opened again, and something inside her had shifted. Outside, the city buzzed with life. Maya walked down the street with her box pressed against her chest. The brand's billboard loomed above her, glossy models with pale skin and perfect smiles. She felt the irony bite deep. She stopped, staring up at it. Luxury, the slogan said. She smiled bitterly. One day, she muttered, I'll show them what luxury really looks like. As she walked away, the golden light of the setting sun hit her face. The same curls Erica had mocked now shimmered like a crown. Maya didn't know how, but she knew this wasn't the end. The first few days after Maya's firing were a blur. Silence had filled her apartment like thick smoke. The coffee machine hissed every morning out of habit, but there was no reason to drink from it. Her neatly stacked resumes on the counter stared back like a reminder of everything she'd lost. Each time she opened her phone, ads from her former company haunted her feed. Faces that all looked the same, polished, pale, on brand. Her campaign ideas, her ideas, were being used without credit. She tried to brush it off, but anger has a way of slipping through even the calmest soul. By the third day, she grabbed her laptop and started applying for jobs. Creative director positions, she whispered. Typing. Hours turned into days. Each email read the same. We were impressed with your experience, but we've decided to move forward with other candidates. Every rejection chipped away a little more. One night, as rain tapped the window, her best friend Aliyah called. Girl, when's the last time you left that apartment? Maya laughed softly. I don't remember. Maybe when I got fired. You can't let them define you, Aliyah said firmly. You gave them your brilliance, Maya. They gave you bias in return. So take your brilliance somewhere that deserves it. Maya sighed. Somewhere like where? Every company's chasing the same image. Aaliyah paused. Then stop chasing them. Build your own. The line went quiet for a moment, the kind of silence that plants a seed. Maya looked around her small apartment, cluttered with design sketches, mood boards, and color palettes. On the wall hung her degree in marketing and a photo of her grandmother, who'd come to the city with nothing but determination. Her grandmother's words echoed. Don't beg for a seat at their table, baby. Build your own and make them knock. That night, Maya opened her notebook. At the top of a blank page, she wrote 3 words. True Tone Studios. It would be a creative agency built on authenticity, where diversity wasn't decoration. It was the foundation. She began sketching logos, brand ideas, mission statements. She listed every contact she'd ever worked with. The photographers, models, stylists, editors who'd whispered, I wish we could show more people like us. Emails turned into calls. Calls turned into meetings in coffee shops and rented workspaces. Within weeks, Maya's small apartment transformed into a command center of hope. But reality wasn't kind. Investors wanted proof. Clients wanted portfolios. Money ran thin. She used her savings for rent and a second-hand laptop that overheated after an hour of editing. One night, she broke down again. What am I doing? She whispered, staring at the glowing logo she'd designed on screen. Aaliyah's voice replayed in her head. You're not building a company. You're building proof that she belonged. 3 months later, an opportunity appeared like a spark in the dark. A local boutique skincare brand posted an open call for a rebranding pitch. It wasn't big, but it was something. Maya stayed up 3 nights straight, perfecting her presentation. She filmed diverse models herself, used natural lighting, and recorded a voiceover in her own soft, confident tone. When the day came, she walked into that pitch room in a thrifted navy suit, laptop under her arm. The panel stared curiously. They didn't expect a one-woman agency. Maya smiled. I may not have a team, she said, but I have a vision. One that's real. She pressed play. As the room filled with images of real people, untouched and unfiltered, silence fell. When the video ended, one of the panelists leaned forward. That felt human, he said quietly. Maya's heart pounded. 2 days later, she got the call. We'd like True Tone Studios to handle our rebrand. She didn't scream. She didn't cry. She just sat still, smiling through tears that finally meant something different. Her journey had just begun. For the first time since leaving that glass office, Maya felt like she was finally building something worth believing in, something the world needed. But she had no idea that soon. The very company that fired her would come knocking on her door, desperate, and unaware that the woman they dismissed had become the one holding all the power. If you're loving Maya's story of resilience and revenge, don't forget to subscribe to United Shades for more powerful stories that prove dignity always wins. 6 months later, Maya sat in a small but vibrant office, the kind built with hope. Not money, exposed brick walls, plants she'd rescued from clearance racks, and desks made from repurposed doors gave True Tone Studios its charm. Her first client's campaign had gone viral, a skincare line featuring real women, real tones, real stories. No airbrushing, no filters, just truth. The tagline, Beauty that breathes. The internet loved it. Magazines picked it up. Suddenly, brands that had never returned Maya's calls were reaching out. Her team, now 5 strong, was young, diverse, hungry. They worked long hours fueled by playlists, coffee, and a shared belief that they were creating something different. One afternoon, as Maya reviewed concepts for a new client, her assistant, Jonah, rushed in, waving an email. You need to see this. Maya took the tablet. The logo at the top made her heart skip. Luxura Cosmetics, her old company. She frowned. This must be a mistake. No, Jonah said, eyes wide. They're requesting a consultation. For a full rebrand. Maya stared at the screen. For a long moment she said nothing. Only the faint hum of the air conditioner filled the silence. Then she smiled, slow and sharp. Schedule the meeting, Jonah blinked. Are you sure? After what they— Oh, I'm sure, she interrupted. Let's see what not fitting the image looks like now. The following week, Maya walked into the same glass tower she had left months ago, but this time, she wasn't holding a cardboard box. She was carrying a leather portfolio embossed with True Tone Studios. The receptionist, a new face, greeted her politely. Do you have an appointment? Maya smiled. Yes. Tell Erica Summers that her 2 p.m. is here. Moments later, Erica appeared from the elevator, still immaculate, but with a tightness around her eyes that hadn't been there before. Maya? She said, her voice uncertain. You're with True Tone? That's right, Maya replied, her tone cool and even. We're leading the consultation today. Erica blinked, stunned. You're the CEO? The founder, Maya corrected softly. Let's get started, shall we? Inside the boardroom, Maya laid out her presentation. Her team joined via video call. Jonah, Aliyah, and their lead designer, Priya. Across from her sat the same executives who once approved her dismissal. Ladies and gentlemen, Maya began, clicking the remote, you came to us because Luxura's image isn't connecting anymore. Your sales are down, engagement is low, and your last campaign was criticized for being, well, exclusive. A murmur spread around the table. She continued, you don't need a new slogan. You need a new soul. Her presentation began to play, a montage of real consumers sharing what beauty meant to them. Black women, Asian men, older women with silver hair, teens with freckles, all smiling into the camera. The tagline appeared on screen, luxury is not a color. Silence, the same kind that had followed her firing. But this time, it carried weight. Erica cleared her throat. This is a bold direction, Maya. It's honest, Maya replied. And honesty sells. People don't want perfection anymore. They want connection. You taught me that, remember? Erica shifted uncomfortably. The CFO leaned forward. How soon could you implement this? Maya smiled. With the right budget? Immediately, he nodded slowly. Send us a proposal. As Maya left the building, she paused in the lobby, the same place she'd once walked out in humiliation. The difference now was electric. She wasn't beneath the company anymore. She was above it. That night, she stood on her balcony, city lights stretching out like a promise. Her phone buzzed, an email from Luxura's CFO. We're officially hiring True Tone Studios to lead our global rebrand. She stared at the screen, her pulse quickening. They'd signed. The same people who once said she didn't fit their image now needed her vision. But as True Tone began working with Luxura, Maya realized something deeper was happening. Behind the glossy boardroom smiles, Luxura's leadership was fracturing. Erica was under pressure. Investors were threatening to pull out if the company didn't modernize. Maya watched it unfold, the same structure that had crushed her now crumbling from its own arrogance. One evening, Erica called her privately. I have to admit, she said, her tone softer than ever. You've done something I couldn't. The board's obsessed with your ideas. Funny, Maya replied. They weren't obsessed when I worked there. Erica hesitated. Maya, I was wrong. About a lot of things. Maya said nothing. Erica exhaled. If this rebrand succeeds, Luxura might survive. If not, they'll sell the company. I just thought you should know. Maya looked out the window. Then let's make sure the rebrand succeeds. Weeks turned into months. Under Maya's direction, Luxura's new campaigns exploded online. People around the world applauded the shift. Influencers praised their inclusivity. News outlets ran features titled Luxura's Remarkable Reinvention. What none of them knew was that the soul of that reinvention belonged entirely to Maya. True Tone Studios tripled in size. Investors flooded in. Maya's quiet revenge was unfolding in public, wrapped in professionalism and grace. Then one morning, Jonah burst into her office again. His face pale. You need to see this. On his tablet was a news alert. Major investor backs out. Luxura faces bankruptcy within weeks. Maya frowned. That can't be right. Their rebrand just launched. It's real, Jonah said. The company's overextended. Too much debt. They're being forced to sell. Maya stared at the screen for a long moment, her mind spinning. Then slowly she smiled, not in glee, but in poetic recognition. Erica had once told her she didn't fit Luxura's image. Now, Luxura no longer fit the world's image. She turned to Jonah. "Call our legal team," she said quietly. "We're going to make an offer." That night, Maya sat alone in her office, the city glowing outside. She pulled out the same notebook she'd written True Tone Studios in months ago. Beneath it, she wrote a new line, Luxura, acquired by True Tone Group. Her hand trembled as she wrote it, but it wasn't fear. It was power, the kind built not on revenge, but on justice. For the first time, she understood. Winning wasn't about proving them wrong. It was about proving herself right. And the next morning, the offer went out. Within days, the deal would make headlines. But before that came the moment she'd waited her entire life for, standing once again before Erica Summers, not as an employee, but as her new boss. Maya's story is far from over. Stay with us till the end for the moment that left her former boss speechless. And if you believe in stories where justice finds its way home, don't forget to like and subscribe to United Shades. The morning sun spilled through the tall windows of True Tone Studios, gilding the glass walls in gold. But inside Maya's office, the atmosphere was all focus, a quiet storm of purpose. The acquisition team had been working through the night. Coffee cups, open laptops, and whispered strategy filled the air. Maya stood at the center of it all, her calm voice cutting through the tension like silk. "Are the papers ready?" she asked. Jonah nodded. Signed, sealed, and reviewed twice. "Luxura's valuation dropped 30% overnight. We can buy them out completely." "Good," Maya said softly. "Make sure it's clean, no drama, no leaks." Aaliyah leaned against the desk, grinning. "Girl, this is history. The company that threw you out is about to belong to you." Maya smiled faintly, though her eyes stayed steady. "I'm not doing this to humiliate them. I'm doing this to build something better." Aaliyah's grin softened. "That's exactly why you're the one who should own it." Later that afternoon, the elevator doors of Luxura's headquarters opened to reveal a scene that felt like déjà vu. Maya stepped out, not with a cardboard box this time, but flanked by her legal counsel and investors. The sound of her heels echoed in the marble corridor. The same employees who'd once watched her leave now whispered in awe. "Is that Maya? She's the one buying us? Wait, she owns True Tone?" Maya caught fragments of the murmurs, but she didn't let them sink in. She had one goal today: finish what she started. In the boardroom, the executives looked uneasy. Erica sat at the end of the table, pale and tight-lipped. The CFO cleared his throat. "Ms. Fields," he began, "we've reviewed your proposal. You're offering full acquisition, including brand rights, infrastructure, and staff retention?" Maya nodded. "That's correct. Every employee keeps their position. But Luxura becomes a subsidiary of True Tone Group." A heavy silence followed. Erica finally spoke, her voice trembling. "Maya, do you have any idea what you're taking on? Luxura isn't just a brand, it's an institution." Maya met her gaze. "Institutions fall when they forget people. That's what happened to you." Erica looked down. The vote was quick. By unanimous decision, desperation often breeds consensus. Luxura's board approved the sale. The deal was signed in that same glass room where Maya had once been dismissed. When it was done, the CFO extended his hand. "Congratulations, Miss Fields. Luxura is now yours." Maya shook his hand firmly. Her heart pounded, but her face remained composed. Across the table, Erica stared, disbelief written all over her face. "I never thought I'd see the day," she whispered. Maya looked at her, not with bitterness, but with quiet triumph. "Neither did I, but I learned that being underestimated is the best fuel." That evening, Maya called an all-staff meeting. Hundreds of Luxura employees gathered in the atrium, anxious, uncertain, whispering. Cameras from industry outlets lined the back walls. She stepped onto the stage, microphone in hand. "Good evening, everyone," she began, her voice steady and warm. "My name is Maya Fields, the founder of True Tone Studios, and as of today, Luxura is part of the True Tone family." A ripple of gasps moved through the crowd. "I know some of you may be worried about what this means," she continued. "Change can be uncomfortable, but I didn't come here to erase what you've built. I came here to rebuild it with honesty and heart." Her words carried the quiet power of truth. "When I worked here, I was told I didn't fit the image. But I've learned something. Real luxury isn't about exclusion. It's about inclusion. Luxury isn't perfection. It's pride. And it looks like every one of you standing here today." The audience went silent. Some people clapped. Then more joined in. The sound grew into thunderous applause that filled the building. A few rows back, Erica watched, tears glinting in her eyes. After the event, Maya stood alone in the boardroom again. Erica walked in quietly. "You handled that beautifully," she said. "Thank you," Maya replied without turning. Erica hesitated, then spoke softly. "Maya, I wanted to say I'm sorry. I didn't see you for who you were back then. I was protecting an image that didn't deserve protection." Maya finally turned to face her. "You weren't protecting an image, Erica. You were protecting fear." Erica's shoulders sagged. "You're right. And now you're the one saving this company. You could have destroyed us, but you didn't." Maya studied her for a long moment. "Destroying you wouldn't make me whole. Building something better will." Erica nodded slowly, eyes misty. "If you'll have me, I'd like to stay. Help rebuild this, the right way." Maya considered it, the poetic symmetry of forgiveness. Then she extended her hand. "Then let's get to work." Erica shook it, visibly relieved. Weeks passed. Under Maya's leadership, Luxura transformed. The sterile white walls were replaced with murals celebrating diversity. The marketing floor buzzed with energy. New models, new voices, new vision. Billboards began to appear across the city again, but this time, the faces staring down weren't cloned perfection. They were human, real, beautiful in their truth. Social media exploded with the new slogan, "Luxury that looks like you." Sales skyrocketed, articles flooded in. "The woman who redefined beauty standards. From fired to founder, Maya Fields' revolution." But Maya barely looked at the headlines. Her joy didn't come from fame. It came from seeing people who once felt invisible finally reflected on screens and billboards. One night, she walked through the now renovated Luxura lobby. A new plaque gleamed by the entrance, Luxura, a True Tone company. She reached out, tracing the letters lightly with her fingertips. Behind her, Erica's voice broke the silence. "Feels different, doesn't it?" Maya smiled. "It feels right." Erica nodded. "You turned this place into what it was always supposed to be." Maya glanced at her, eyes soft. "No, we did." For the first time, there was no bitterness between them, only mutual understanding. As Maya stepped outside into the cool evening air, flashes from cameras caught her for a moment. Reporters called out her name, asking how it felt to own the company that once rejected her. She paused, turned slightly toward them and said, "It feels like freedom, not just for me, but for everyone who's ever been told they don't belong." Then she smiled and walked away, her reflection glowing in the glass doors, the image of success on her own terms. A year had passed since Maya's takeover of Luxura. Spring sunlight poured through the office windows, bouncing off glass panels that once felt cold but now shimmered with life. On the walls hung portraits, not of models, but of people, a teacher, a nurse, a construction worker, a teenage artist. All photographed under the new campaign, The Real Image of Beauty, Luxura. Once a symbol of exclusion, had become the face of empowerment. Maya stood before the latest campaign board, sipping her coffee as the creative team debated color tones. Aaliyah walked in, tablet in hand. "We just crossed 10 million in sales this quarter," she said with a grin. Maya blinked, then smiled softly. 10 million? Already? Already. The investors are calling you the architect of modern beauty. Maya laughed lightly. Funny how fast they change their tune. Aaliyah leaned against the table. You should enjoy it, Maya. You earned every inch of this success. Maya nodded. I'm proud. But what makes me happiest isn't the numbers. It's the people. The messages. The letters. She opened her phone and read one aloud. Dear Ms. Fields, I used to think my dark skin made me invisible in beauty ads. But now my daughter saw a model who looks like her. Thank you for that. Maya's voice caught slightly. That's why we do it. Aaliyah smiled gently. You turned pain into purpose. Later that afternoon, Maya attended a press event for Luxura's relaunch, an elegant yet inclusive affair. The stage was decorated with the company's new slogan, Luxury that looks like you. Reporters, photographers, and influencers filled the hall. As Maya stepped up to the podium, the applause was warm and thunderous. She waited for it to fade, then began. When I started in this industry, I was told I didn't fit the image. For years I believed that voice, until I realized it wasn't truth. It was fear dressed as authority. The room grew still. I learned that the most powerful image isn't the one you see in the mirror. It's the one you carry in your heart. It's how you see yourself when no one else does. Her gaze swept across the audience, faces of all shades and ages. Luxury isn't about exclusion. It's about elevation. It's about celebrating every texture, tone, and story. That's what True Tone and Luxura stand for now. Not an image, but a movement. The audience rose in applause. Cameras flashed. Maya smiled, not for attention, but for peace. After the event, a young intern approached her hesitantly. Miss Fields, can I ask you something? Of course, Maya said kindly. The girl fidgeted with her badge. How did you keep believing in yourself? After being told you weren't enough? Maya paused for a long moment, choosing her words carefully. Because I realized something, she said softly. When people say you're not enough, they're really saying they're afraid of your too much. Too much strength, too much truth, too much change. The girl smiled shyly. I hope I can be like you one day. Maya touched her shoulder gently. You already are. Just never shrink to fit anyone's comfort. That evening, the office lights dimmed one by one as employees headed home. Maya lingered, walking the quiet corridors that once echoed with her insecurity. She stopped outside her old office, the very space where Erica had fired her. Now, the nameplate on the door read, Maya Fields, CEO, True Tone Group. For a moment she stood there, letting the weight of it settle in. It wasn't revenge she felt. It was closure. Her phone buzzed. A text from Erica. You made this place something beautiful again. I'm grateful, Maya typed back. We both did. Growth takes more courage than power. She set the phone down and looked around. Everything she'd built, the people, the vision, the change, was real, and it came not from anger, but from grace. Weeks later, Maya was invited to deliver a talk at a global women's leadership summit. She stood backstage as the announcer's voice echoed through the hall. Please welcome the visionary founder and CEO of True Tone Group, Ms. Maya Fields. As she stepped onto the stage, thousands rose in applause. Her speech wasn't rehearsed. It flowed from the soul. When I was fired for not fitting an image, I thought I'd lost everything. But losing that job gave me something greater. Clarity. Clarity that worth isn't granted by others. It's claimed by believing in who you already are. She smiled at the audience, her voice steady and strong. If you've ever been rejected, overlooked, or underestimated, don't see it as the end. See it as the invitation to start building your own table. Applause erupted again, filling the room like thunder. After the event, she found a quiet corner backstage. A familiar face appeared, her grandmother's photograph, framed and sitting in her bag. She lifted it gently and whispered, You were right, Grandma. I didn't need their table. I built my own. Tears welled in her eyes, but they were warm, not bitter. She placed the photo back and turned toward the exit. Outside, the city lights stretched endlessly, just like the possibilities ahead. As she walked out, her phone buzzed again, a new email notification, subject, Partnership Inquiry, Global Beauty Alliance. We'd like to collaborate with True Tone on a worldwide diversity campaign. Maya smiled, slipping the phone into her pocket. The story had come full circle, but her journey was only beginning. They said I didn't fit their image. But I learned, when you stop chasing someone else's reflection, you finally start to shine. True success isn't revenge, it's transformation. The greatest power comes from turning rejection into rebirth.